We are Geekcentric, and you can be too. Love ya. Get home safe, guys. Peace.
What's up, geeks, and welcome to yet another episode of the Geekcentric podcast. My name is Nate, and today we've got some great stuff lined up for you. If you're joining us for the first time, this is a weekly show covering the world of film, television, gaming, toys, and collectibles, and all things Geekcentric. Joining me on the show yet again, we have the jovial J-Law.
Yo, yo!
And to his right, we've got Kevin the Cutie Hudson.
Well, that goes totally against the image I've been trying to establish for myself here.
Yeah, you had like rage and like the metric ton, and now it's cutie with a booty.
Speaking of that cutie with a booty, what's going on, cutie with the booty? How you guys been?
Doing really well.
Yeah.
Doing really well. We've all been working pretty hard together, planning out the upcoming videos for the big channel there. So
Cool.
It's an exciting time of the year with Halloween around the corner, and then
Spooky.
and then Christmas just past that, and then a couple big releases in November that we're very excited to celebrate, like only we can. So I don't know if we want to specifically reveal some of the things that we're going to be releasing over the next few weeks, but we've got some goodies in store for everyone on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, to think too, like this time last year, we were actually, Kevin and I were talking, like we were on hiatus because we had just gone such a solid period of time of every Monday. And I think we both kind of came to this thing and we were kind of chatting all together. It's like these specialty ones, those ones we have so much fun, whereas everything else was just kind of like for quantity purpose. Right. So we've now kind of gotten into this whole new process of making more quality over quantity. So going at our own pace and doing what we think is, top notch. So I think we won't give away too much. As we get closer, we'll probably drop some little tidbits of hints. But
it'll be kind of fun to come on and sort of tease maybe what's coming up. But
Halloween is the next one.
I will give that away.
Yeah.
Very cool. Halloween is next.
And
you won't tell what it's about.
I remember recording for our last Halloween video when we did the musical for Nightmare Before Christmas and for those who are joining us maybe for the first time, we are referring to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
youtube.com/geekcentric. Subscribe and give us a like and a view and click the bell and stuff. But for the last one, I remember how enjoyable it was to come in, and Kevin, the lyrics that you wrote were super fantastic, and just kind of what you guys worked on together. So me walking in and just being able to sing a few of those songs, I was kind of blown away by that.
You killed it.
Yeah, that carried that video, and I think that was the first one that we did. I remember I was like gone to like Disney World. And
like
I
right
got
after?
back. Well, no, like
Or
right before.
Yeah.
And then I got back. I hadn't put anything together, but I got back and I stayed up all night and I just hammered that through. I had your lyrics. We had all the story stuff that we figured out, like the storyboarding kind of put together. And it was just such a nice amalgamation of everything. I think it's like after that project, it was like, we should just really focus on what we love, like these things that we love to do. And, not so much about like just pumping something out for the sake of, quantity. It's like, pumping out things that we're really proud of, that we want to put our best foot forward.
And I think you can see that in some of the later episodes for sure.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Definitely. The progression is certainly there. But so there's going to be maybe some nods back to last year's Halloween video, and then hopefully some new spooks and twists for everyone. So stay tuned for that.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, listen, speaking of staying tuned, I would love to know what you've been staying tuned to. I'd love to know, Kevin, what you been up to?
Well, here in Canada, it's a pretty important time as the election is right around the corner. And there's been a few debates that I've watched, and I will obviously steer clear of discussing any of the specific politics there, but those debates are, they take up a night, and, then I'm reading, thoughts and everything on those debates for hours afterwards. So that there's a night gone anytime one of those has happened. So fortunately, those are done now. And then I just discovered something absolutely deadly that I had no idea was a thing. Seinfeld is on demand on Crave.
What?
Oh, no. So I'm about season 3, episode 10. I'm
You're
going,
in.
why am I watching this show? I've seen every episode 30. But as soon as I discovered it, Sarah and I both looked at each other and were like, uh-oh. So,
Right. So you're watching the debates, and then
watching the
immediately
debate,
Seinfeld.
and then Seinfeld. It's a nice brevity of fresh air and laughs.
Sure. When
certainly
there's not a
after.
hockey game on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
I think it goes to say, if you've listened to episode 2 where we debated out over Jurassic Park, Kevin is a very passionate debater. He knows how to debate, so makes sense.
But
that
again, no
he's-
politics on this show, baby. Just fun and laughs. Just fun and laughs. And the occasional rage outburst about bad movies from me. But we'll see.
But of course, even though we won't necessarily get into it, it's still super important. Get out there, vote.
Yes.
Make your decision, no matter what it is, no matter what side you're on.
Yes.
Get out, vote, and that's really the only way that we're going to see any sort of change happening. So
There's a message
Definitely
I
a good
can.
message right
There's
there.
a message I support.
awesome.
Gets my seal of approval.
Speaking of seal of approval, Justin,
Yes.
what you been watching that maybe you've given a seal of approval to?
Well, I've been just taking in. I've been watching a lot of stuff over the weekend. I watched It Chapter 2.
Oh wow, okay,
I watched.
haven't seen it yet.
I watched Yesterday.
Oh okay,
Nice.
I heard it was like a cute sort of. It wasn't like phenomenal, but it was
No,
fun.
I think what was great about it is the music.
Mhm.
But the one thing that I just absolutely had to watch was El Camino.
Oh, wow,
I was
yeah.
stoked for that to drop on. That was like my Friday night. I was like, come home, do that.
Yeah.
Totally sat down, watched it.
Just
But-
consume it all.
I will just say it was underwhelming.
Really?
Yeah,
Haven't seen it yet. Kevin,
No.
you seen it yet?
I'm if you've tuned in, I'm not a
right.
Breaking Bad guy.
Sorry,
So
I forgot.
so hearing people not
when
like
we talked
it
about the trailer.
fills me with joy. Yes.
Yeah, I heard. I remember when we talked about the trailer. You said it was the worst thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah,
That's an exaggeration.
I won't go into like immense amount of detail.
I'm surprised you guys didn't push for that for a watch club or something. I was kind of relieved, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
'Cause
I think there's a
I
lot-
would have watched it, but
But there is a lot of investment. Like there are.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give anything away because I know Nate, you will
I do
want to
wanna
watch
see it at some
yeah,
point.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I won't give it away. I'll just say that it felt more fan service than anything else.
Mhm.
I don't know if it was a story that needed to be told,
Okay, interesting.
and I think that's all. I'll
They're
say.
talking about like him getting like awards for this, right? Like he's up
Really,
for.
I haven't heard that.
That's what I've heard, that he's kind of the buzz is there for Emmy awards.
Well, I don't know. I think he did a better job in the show itself. Kind
Yeah.
of that you see the progression of his acting, you see the progression of his character. He really kind of owned it. To be so removed from the series and then
Mm-hmm.
coming back into at this point and like some moments being very refresher.
Yeah.
It was nice, but I think it just felt it was just underwhelming a little, and it just was more for fan service. It just I don't know if it was a story that needed to be told. I was thinking something much bigger
Right.
for what would have been told,
Yeah.
but especially because it's pitched as a movie, but it,
Okay.
it just felt like a really long episode that I don't know.
is
wanted
Aaron
more.
Paul in like a I don't want to call it a rut. I mean, the guy's career is obviously doing very well,
Yeah.
but he is just cast in these dour, miserable characters in everything.
So he's a little typecast, you think?
I think it's getting there a little bit.
Yeah.
Like even in the trailer for this third season of Westworld,
Yes.
it looks like he is just another been through some serious shit and is not very happy with life
Right.
character.
Oh, right.
You know,
He's actually going to be in that. I
yeah.
forgot
yeah.
about
I mean, they
that.
just throw him in there really quickly in
Yeah.
that teaser they
I was
released.
so happy to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Yeah, so he just seems like he plays the miserable guy every time. That's all I get from it.
Hmm.
Nate. What you been up to?
I've been playing a lot with my Lego sets. I've been building, not necessarily playing, but building a lot of Lego sets. We had the opportunity to. You can check it out on our channel from our Fan Expo recap of Fan Expo 2019. We had the opportunity to have a chat with Michael Lee Stockwell, who is one of the lead Lego designers for Lego Star Wars sets. And it kind of just, I don't know, something bit me. And
Fucking reinvigorated something. in you, man.
reinvigorated the
Every time we
the
come over
Lego.
to do this, you've got 10 new sets ready to go. It's amazing.
Maybe not 10.
Well, no,
Um,
there's
one,
quite a few
two,
sitting
three.
around. Here.
Okay, well, listen, maybe 10, but but definitely, I started kind of really falling in love with it. Michael Lee Stockwell, the way he talked about his sets and the way that he talked about bringing playability back to the sets and just how he redesigned the Slave One, I just thought was super cool. And haven't built that one yet, but I did I sat down and watched the Apollo 11 documentary, the one that they remade from that old found footage.
Right, that looked incredible.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
it looks phenomenal. It's a great documentary.
Awesome.
I'm not normally one to really sit down and watch a documentary, but I sat down, I opened my giant NASA Apollo 11 Lego set and started building that. It just, since then, just sort of sitting down and having the book out and sort of watching something and building something at the same time that they correlate. It's been really fun. It's been really cool to kind of see, in real time, what's going on screen happening right in front of me in my hands with these little bricks. So definitely been having a lot of fun with that. I think the next set that I might want to try to build, I'm going to go on a friend's binge. Maybe build I got the Central Perk set.
That looks like a fun little.
So I think
fun
that
little
might
set
be
with, like, lots of little details hidden throughout that one, which is always fun.
Little hidden references from everything, right? So that's probably what I'm gonna get into next. Well, listen, if anyone from Lego is listening and would like us to do more Lego content on the channel, if we can figure out how to do it,
and like, not to do side rant, like, I totally am with you. I think the way we approached talking to Michael E. Stockwell about the design and the playability, I think, like, for me, that was like, I feel like how we should make our Lego videos. Everyone's doing time lapse builds and stop motion builds, and some are doing it obviously really, really, really well. But I think it's like, if we could add anything, and the things that we try to add in our videos now is kind of like that educational sort of information, and to focus on design, playability, and less about like actually building it together. But like, even Darcy, Kevin's brother, who frequently comes along with us to all of these different events, and helps us with pretty much like getting pops so that we can put them in our videos. He was saying, you don't need to do all of the building. You can do parts of it that do showcase that engineering and that playability. So maybe, for like Boba Fett's ship, it's like the wings and then the body falls into place to kind of talk about that and showcase elements like that. So it is something that we've kind of back and forth talked about. It's like, how do you get into Lego but make it different? Because when you look at their stuff on their channel with their stop motion and obviously everything that they've been able to achieve with the Lego movie, and how they could have that like power of animation behind them, their stuff is really good.
It's like when you watch American Idol and somebody's doing a cover of, I don't know, Whitney Houston, and you're just like, okay. All right. So
let's leave it to the pros.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think maybe we look at it from a standpoint of maybe less our story, like our musical style fun boxings, more look at it more like our retrospective fun boxings, where we go in and talk maybe about kind of some,
could be something that we try like in the new year, like, we're all Lego fans. I think, we've all grown up with that. We love it. They capture that nostalgia of like moments from movies, like, that's where we kind of started our collecting in one way or another. And, it's kind of flourished from that.
So if anyone from Lego is listening, hit us up.
Yeah,
we will gladly take some free Lego sets. I know
you could sponsor this podcast.
I know my wallet would be very happy. But let's go ahead and let's get into the news.
It's all about the details.
All right, this first news story, this is a big one. Get ready. From Mike Fleming Jr. over at Deadline. A major structural shift is taking place at Marvel as the brand looks to put even more of its stamp on the Walt Disney Company with the upcoming launch of Disney Plus. All of Marvel's creative personnel is moving under Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige. Deadline hears that Feige is adding the title of Chief Creative Officer for Marvel to his title. What that means for the brand is that the company's key creative executives across film and TV will now report to him. Guys?
That makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, they want a cohesive unit. The film universe certainly has that, and so this only seems right. I mean, if you're going off in this direction of 4 new shows just with the start of Disney Plus, right?
Yeah.
They have to speak to the larger narrative that they're telling, I think. So, I mean, I'm not sure how much this means in terms of his creative input as much as how he harnesses these other creative individuals to work towards a similar vision.
Well, see, because I was kind of worried with everything on the plate there that he's going to be spread too thin.
Right.
And
I don't know. I think this is how you keep Kevin Feige in Marvel. You
Right.
say,
Well, yeah,
hey,
because wasn't that a rumor
That he was
even
gonna move
recent
to Star Wars?
that he was like
Or
stepping
just
away from
stepping away
Marvel?
from Marvel in
Almost his
general?
time was done. It was sort of the rumor.
yeah, no,
so-
but he was like, I think the idea behind keeping him in as a chief, executive, creative, what is it?
Chief Creative Officer.
As a chief creative officer, it's saying, hey, listen, you've obviously, you're valued here. We don't want you to have to consider. Why not just do what you're doing with the movies, but do it across all platforms? Let our creative
yeah,
teams
this
just answer to you.
includes anything animated now.
Yep.
Apparently,
TV.
yeah,
Anything like that TV he's definitely overseeing, obviously, as he's building out this, phase 4 and 5.
and I think this is so important just because in losing the Russo brothers going forward,
Hmm.
to have lost him at the same time, you're taking the heart and soul of the cinematic universe out there, right?
Yeah.
You got to do one step at a time if we're weaning into a new direction. So
I would say I don't think we're losing the Russo brothers. I just think they're turning the other way for a little while. I think there's always going to be something that'll bring them back. They have good relationships with Kevin Feige and
yeah, it certainly
Marvel
doesn't
as
sound
well.
like it ended sour,
No,
but
yeah.
they haven't been announced in terms of
Yeah.
doing any of the big projects. So
I think the next time we see them is either for a ensemble piece
Mhm.
because they did it so well, right? And just giving, reintroducing them through that.
Has
or
Feige directed
No.
a movie?
No.
Like a Marvel movie? No. Do you think he ever will?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think he has to. He's putting he's putting teams together.
Right.
Right? Like everything he's carving out, it's about this writer, this filmmaker. We want to work with this person. We want
Yeah.
to work with that. That's what he's good at. He's bringing teams together
Mhm.
to tell this story.
And all while being sort of the face, the talking head at the front of the.
Exactly. The one
Audience.
that's promoting it, right?
Mhm.
Like the one that's pushing it for the idea of like for the fans.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I mean, I kind of thought that was already all happening. So, Justin, when you told me about this, I was kind of like, I thought that was already the case, but I guess not. So maybe not as huge as I thought it was. But let's move into this next story. So this one's from Ben Pearson over at Slash Film, who writes, 90s heartthrob and Star Wars Rebels voice actor Freddie Prinze Jr. has heard the complaints about the franchise from certain corners of the fandom, and he's sick of them. On a podcast appearance, he was quoted as saying, "Look, dog, you're just mad the franchise isn't aging with you. But that ain't how it works. You're just peed off that Han Solo gave the effing Millennium Falcon to a girl." So, interesting quote from Kanan Jarrus of Star Wars Rebels fame.
Totally butchered, but yeah, it was an awesome quote.
But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think he means by this in terms of that sort of kind of that corner of the fandom? What do we think he's referring to here?
I don't know. I'm kind of confused
Well-
by it. 'cause
well,
the first part of that is all about the franchise not aging with you.
Okay.
Okay, I get that. But I don't understand what that. I was perfectly fine with Rey getting the Falcon at the end of Force Awakens. That has nothing to do with my issues with, the problems in the franchise as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a sexist thing about female Jedis and
Right.
stuff.
But-
It's
I don't think he's talking about fans like yourself. I think he
Mhm.
is talking about fans that are, attacking Rose on social media and saying awful things. It's like why? Like why are you doing that? You know what I mean? Like I wasn't fond of her character. I think she was she acted it well, but she wasn't really important to the story. And I thought that was more of a detriment on the writing and directing
Yeah.
than it was on anything else.
to the point where Kelly Marie Tran has to delete her
Yeah.
Twitter
and Instagram.
and
Like she
Instagram.
just went dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was too much. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think I think things like, I just think that it is, people are taking it too personal sometimes. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I think that's what it's kind of, Freddie
Well,
Prinze is talking
I
about.
think isn't that the right of a fan? If I spend all my money and my time watching stuff and buying your merchandise, if I'm
Right.
not happy with something, shouldn't I be allowed to vocalize that
But to the point of
in
when
the
you're
same sense that
attacking
I
someone, like-
vocalize my pleasure with it by buying your stuff?
Right. But Kevin, I think again to Justin's point, you are the type of fan that you'll vocalize your displeasure with the series in terms of what you didn't like about certain aspects of maybe like The Last Jedi or what have you. What the fans that I believe that Freddie Prinze Jr. is talking about are the people that went out of their way to make a cut of the film that only included a male cast. Like it's these people that I think are kind of unfortunately souring the Star Wars fandom and the
Well, that
experience
goes
for everyone.
well beyond Star Wars, though,
Right.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's a problem in the world, if
Right.
anything. So
For sure. And
I don't think Freddie Prinze starting off a statement with "Yo, dog" is going to change these people's minds.
it is true. It's why does he start Yo dog?
I mean, he was
No, he says
casual.
look
Isn't
dog.
he like 50 years old?
Yeah.
If he still
No.
walks,
Is he?
look, dog.
Yeah, he's getting close to 50. I just think there's like I think the way he's saying this is very like, you know, like he is trying to be like this younger, like, look, you know, like this is the problem, right? Like this is the problem. Like
And I mean, this is a guy who used to work for WWE Wrestling,
Right.
actually, as
Absolutely.
a writer, and got a lot of flack for that too. So he's been dealing with criticism since, you know,
Right.
the
But-
90s. This guy.
I just think that it's really interesting though how there's passionate and then there's like aggressively passionate.
Right.
Like
Don't bully someone on Twitter
No.
because you didn't enjoy their character.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with that person.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like
Or
the
because-
decisions that Rose Tico made did not have any. That was not Kelly Marie Tran making those decisions.
No, exactly. And like the fact that like he even calls out, you know, the fact fans were upset that Han Solo gave the Millennium Falcon to a girl. Like if I didn't see any of that, but if that was the case, that's like it's a really stupid argument.
Yeah.
You know,
No matter what, I think at the end of the day, if your characters are great characters, that's all that I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter who they are, where they're from, or what they do. I think if they're a great character and they, you know, I think that's awesome that, to your point, Ray got the Millennium Falcon.
and not to keep going with this, but you know, it is time for, you know, Star Wars to change its direction, you know.
Sure.
And
How many
kind of
how many women were in the original
I'm,
Star Wars?
well, yeah, but I'm not even talking about
2?
I'm not even just talking about that. I'm just saying
And
like
wasn't one the green?
Well, you had Aunt Beru,
Okay, sure.
right? She's
Yeah.
a woman.
yes.
Yeah.
She was in the first.
Excellent
little
at
bit.
serving milk.
Right. So, but
That's the extent of her character.
right. So having these strong female leads, and I honestly hope, especially for Rose's character. I mean, this is kind of getting into Rise of Skywalker talk, but I do hope to see her character become more than what she was in the last.
And when
Jedi.
I'm referring to new direction, I'm not referring to just the idea of, you know, gender and equality and
Right.
those sort of elements in it. That goes without saying. I think
Mhm.
it's like the idea of open the doors to like new parts of the universe. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Which they're doing, and I think they leaned really hard in the Last Jedi.
Mhm.
Right, rather than really just trying to focus it on closing out the Skywalker story, it just almost lingered. It didn't know what it wanted to be. Not getting into much detail about that, but I just mean it's time for them to move it in a new direction. So it's nice to see that, you know, hopefully down the road that is, and Freddie Prinze is kind of saying, hey, you know, just get over it. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well, I think it's interesting to see someone who's in Star Wars speak that candidly about the fandom in that way. Hopefully, we start to see a little bit more of it. I think a lot of people are kind of scared to kind of voice their opinions in that way, unfortunately. And I think that might be. Hopefully, that's something that sort of sparks a little bit more insight into
Yo,
Where
dog.
these
The
people-
two words that changed the film industry forever.
Yo Dog. This last story from Matt Goldberg over at Collider.
He's a good
Who
segment.
got a little more insight into the look and feel for the upcoming MCU film Shang-Chi, who reports that Christina Radish interviewed Shang-Chi director Destin Daniel Cretton, who was asked about the hiring of Bill Pope as his cinematographer, to which he said, yeah, he has a really beautiful style that's both naturalistic and grounded, but also heightened in the best way. And anybody who can shoot The Matrix is probably going to do great with this one. So, what do you guys think about the kind of the vibe or the it sounds like we're going to be getting a Matrix style sort of vibe to this movie. What are you guys thinking for Shang-Chi?
I mean, I think you have to be a little careful about referencing a movie from 1999 that's been imitated so many times since that it doesn't feel all that fresh of a reference,
Okay.
but it also changed the game.
Yeah.
And so if Pope can step in and reinvent the game
Mhm.
the same way he did on The Matrix, but not do what he did in The Matrix, then I
Right.
think we want all the Marvel movies to be a little different and a little unique and have their own style. So
Well, I
if
think
that's kind of what their focus is going to be, is bringing this original look and tone and everything to it, then why wouldn't we want something like that?
Sure, but The Matrix is definitely something that he's obviously well known. But like he's done Spider-Man 3,
Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah, he did Scott Pilgrim. He did Spider-Man 2. He did all of the Matrix.
Jungle Book.
He did Jungle Book. You know what I mean? Like,
so I think
the idea is that I don't think his style is necessarily just Matrix. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I get the idea though that like he established he established a new cinematic style with that, like just how gritty and real and raw it felt, but it was obviously very super CG, right? So I think to bring in those elements of just knowing how to choreograph realistic camera movements with visual effects, that's what's going to be really interesting, especially for the fact that he did Jungle Book, right? That is an orchestrated sort of, you're not filming those animals, right? Like those are scenes that you're mocking up with like things in place.
Digital artists.
And digital artists are going through, right?
Well, that is it for the news. At this time, we're going to move into a lovely little segment we like to call Trailer Time.
It's trailer time.
All right, this is Trailer Time. We're going to talk about some of the latest trailers to drop. Recently, the trailer for The Turning just dropped, and with it being October and kind of the spoopy months, I thought it might be a good time to talk about some scary movies. I know, Kevin, you're not normally a fan.
No, I'm not the biggest horror movie guy.
Did he say spoopy?
I heard spoopy too.
Yeah. So it's kind of like spooky because it makes you poop your pants, kind of.
Kind of.
Okay.
That's kind of the idea. I think it might just be a thing that young people say. But this is directed by Floria Sigismondi. It's starring Mackenzie Davis, Finn Wolfhard, and Brooklyn Prince. And it looked pretty freaky. I think anything with kids in it from a horror standpoint is scary.
I just want to see Wolf in something else. I guess he's so young. He seems to be typecasted. This kind of looks different because he kind of looks more like a villain. But like,
I
don't know. Just get him out of this genre. Let's see something else.
Yeah,
I can see what you're saying there. I mean, I think we're going to see him have a bit more fun in something like Ghostbusters coming up. So he's just got that look right now.
He was cast for Ghostbusters. He's one of the kids?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But, he's just got that look right now. He's just in that awkward,
creepy
teen stage where he's all gangly and he's got that, he's just got the look.
That's why he's perfect for young
I think he looks like he plays the character quite well.
I mean, seeing him in interviews, I feel like he has a lot of fun with these roles.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I feel like he's really enjoying these kind of, moving away from Stranger Things kind of thing.
He's an actor for sure, but I just hope that like he can really challenge himself to step outside. That happens as you adult.
I think we'll see him. I think we'll see that happen for sure.
For sure, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, are you guys think you might? Well, I know Kevin's not going to see it. Justin,
it just looks been there, done that.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I don't watch the horror movie genre, but I follow the heck out of it, almost in a weird, like scared curiosity. So I know all these movies.
Yeah.
Another haunted house with some kids, and it just
an old lady.
It just looks very been there, done that. I think
absolutely, it does look like it's.
I just don't know how a fan of the genre would choose like, I want to see this one versus this one, because they all kind of look the same to me.
To play devil's advocate, it's almost like all of these horror movies kind of do play with the same sort of tropes. Like within the horror genres, there's the haunted mansion story, there's the possessed demon story, there's the kids being terrorized by a monster or a murderer,
gonna murder you,
exactly, right? Like there's these mini sort of things that kind of take place within the genre, and this is just another take on that. I think kind of smashing, looks like it's smashing a little bit of like The Shining, that psychological thriller, but going deep horror.
Okay, interesting. I think I'll wait for reviews. I'll wait till they see what they say.
Yeah, I'm not rushing out to see it. That's for sure.
Well, don't worry, it doesn't come out till January.
Right. We got some time.
Like just January. All of these movies should be released between October 1st and October 31st, and then leave my life for 11 months of the year.
Right.
No, but you have
I'll
to
suffer for a month
with
this stuff, and
that's better marketing, because like February and January, as you know, it's usually like time for
Right.
for movies, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you want to get some asses in those seats. So you kind of offer.
And with a
bit of
name like
everything.
Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things, you're going to pull in that audience, right? I mean, on January 24th, we're all going to be building lightsabers, but this next trailer I wanted to talk about is Daniel Isn't Real. This is directed by Adam Egypt Mortimer, starring Andrew Ayala, Andrew Bridges, and Katie Chang. For those who haven't maybe seen the trailer, it's a troubled college freshman, Luke. He suffers like a violent trauma, and he resurrects a childhood imaginary friend who, of course, turns evil and tells him to kill people or whatever. I mean, if you can't tell already, I don't know if I enjoyed this trailer as much as I enjoyed the idea of the movie when I saw the description for it.
I entirely agree. It looks like a bad indie horror movie.
I thought it looked very art house. Yeah, very indie. It looked better than The Turning, at least in terms of originality. I thought.
Yes, I did look. I thought it was old looking though. Like it felt
did
like it
look-
was made a long time ago.
But I feel like that's again like another one of those like more of an aesthetical trope. Like make it super grainy and super high contrast and very thing. I agree. The idea sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It looked like a bad indie film, and it looked like it's gonna like in the horror genre. There's always those movies that kind of like to linger with going super scary, and then there's some that go really dark, like almost like that Asian horror style where it's like super gore. This looks kind of like it might pull into that, like it might get into that where it's like super gory and just super intense scary.
I like the psychological aspect of exploring concepts of imaginary friends.
Sure.
I mean, again, no spoilers, but like, watching the Joker, getting a lot of those vibes of what is real, what isn't real. I think that would be kind of cool to see if they play with that a little bit more. And
Might be the perfect time for this movie to come out.
Right. Yeah. Coming out December 6th.
And I'd quickly say if I were going to see it for any particular reason myself, I'd see it for the main character there, Miles Robbins.
Okay.
I know him mostly from Blockers. He's the
really?
chef.
Oh, okay.
He's
Cool.
amazing in that movie. He's so like likable.
Right.
So
if they
and he
could do
plays a
this thing.
similar stoner kind of character in the most recent Halloween movie as well.
Okay.
And so this looks like a bit of a departure. So as somebody who I kind of like this kid and want to see where he's going to go. So it'd be a departure for the stuff I've seen from him already. So
Let it go on the record. Kevin might see this movie.
no, I'll never see this movie.
No, I think
if I
Kevin's
were
into
going
this.
to, if I
Kevin,
had to
we're
choose,
going to get you to a horror movie one of these days.
hey, I just said I watched Halloween. That's a
Yeah,
horror
sure.
movie.
Yeah.
I'll watch them.
We'll get you to a
We'll get
better
you.
one.
We'll get you to a horror movie
Find
with
a good
diaper.
one, and maybe I'll check it out.
We'll bring a diaper just to be safe.
Now, speaking of diapers, you might have a few kids in diapers at this next movie. The trailer that I'm talking about is Doolittle, directed by Stephen Goggin.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Is
man.
he?
Yeah, he wrote Traffic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
What is he doing making Doolittle?
Well, he's grown as a filmmaker, and like to see that he's actually doing this movie, it kind of makes me that much more excited. Because at first, it kind of looks like another version of Downey as Sherlock.
Yeah,
He looked very Sherlocky
Well,
in the
like-
trailer.
Sounded like Sherlock.
He did the thing with the hat.
Yeah, that's he did the.
and he's there with like bandages, and,
Right.
and he's unshaven, and it's
Yeah,
like,
and like his voice was weird.
yeah.
He has the British voice, but like the one scene that just did it for me was
Yeah.
in the trailer when he slides like on the ground
Yeah.
and all the swords point at him, and he does that sort of animated like.
Yeah.
I'm caught. His hands are up. It was like right in that moment. I'm like, oh, you're embodying like your Sherlock, and it's almost interesting that actors can do that.
Yeah.
Like they could say, oh well, he's going to say, well, it's kind of like this character that I've played, so I just need to do a bit of this and find the nuance of difference where it's Doolittle.
For Robert Downey Jr. fan, so this is his first non-Iron Man role since 2014. So
I mean, that is refreshing, right?
That is, I am excited.
Even the second Sherlock was like 2011, so
Yeah.
it's been a
There's-
while since he's done that. At least
There's talks of a third.
Well, yeah,
Sherlock?
I've heard that. Yeah, which would be nice.
Yeah. I think
But
he's-
I'd love to see that.
It looks like it's going to be a bit of a tear string puller, eh? Or the
That
heartstring.
moment in the trailer with the gorilla,
Yes.
and
Oh,
he
on the
just
ship
looks at
there,
it. And it's
yeah.
like you don't have to be strong or something like
It's
that.
okay to be
It's
afraid.
okay to be afraid.
Yeah,
I was
no.
like, huh.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Sympathetic monkeys get me every time.
not sure who's going to voice that sympathetic monkey, but like Tom Holland is in this movie, Rami Malek, Ralph Fiennes, and Selena Gomez, John Cena. All of them, I think, doing voice acting roles.
I would imagine because we
imagine.
didn't see any of them
Right.
in the human.
The only
roles.
human role I think we saw that was big was Antonio Banderas.
There's the
Yes.
bad guy.
Yes,
I would
the villain.
imagine.
Yeah.
He looked. Yeah, I thought it looked pretty cool.
I'm
I'm
actually
not sure.
intrigued.
I'm not like a big Doctor Doolittle fan,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure. But this looks like it might be a little bit more resonant of the source material than the Eddie Murphy ones were.
I think so.
That tried to modernize it.
I think
everything.
so,
I think
yeah.
this it could be a fun sort of escape movie.
Yeah,
Well,
it's just
an adventure.
I think it just really stinks of like that live action Disney side that we haven't
Exactly.
necessarily enjoyed. Granted, this isn't being made by Disney.
No, but they went ahead in
Yeah.
this movie to promote the fact that the producers
Yes.
of Alice in Wonderland
Yeah.
and Maleficent, which were relatively
Maleficent was okay.
Yeah,
Alice in Wonderland
that one,
was
that's a
Yeah.
bad one to,
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't
to sell
talk
me
about
on a
that
movie.
no,
for,
but
yeah.
it while it wasn't a great movie, it has been applauded in terms of its aesthetic. You know what I mean? Of really just capturing and painting the world as it is, right? Like it does do that really well. I watched that movie strictly for that purpose.
Yeah.
Of just seeing that realization of an Alice in Wonderland deep world, and it looked cool. So this does look cool, and I think you're absolutely right. They're kind of like floating on those tail ends of Lion King and
Maleficent
and everything else that's live action.
Yeah, I'll
The Eddie Murphy versions were still good.
yeah
Really,
First one had its
yeah.
number
merits.
two.
If
yeah,
he
that's
shows
much.
up as a character, imagine
Imagine they put him as a voice act, as
Right?
one of the animals.
just at the very end or as an Easter egg.
and if they made it a donkey, that
Yeah.
would be it.
I'll watch it for that. This last trailer from this is actually a new Apple TV Plus series. I'm not sure if it's going to be launching when Apple TV Plus is
No,
launching.
December 6th is when it comes out.
Okay, cool. So a little bit shortly after, which Apple
month
TV Plus
later.
launches in November.
November 1st.
First, thank you. This is Truth Be Told, starring Octavia Spencer, Aaron Paul, Michael Beach, and Lizzie Kaplan. And actually, it also had someone else in it. But before I'll look that up.
Chris Cooper.
Was that who it was? From
Am I right about
the
that?
You're
guy
right.
from Mr. Robot. What's that guy's name?
I
I'll
think-
get to it. It's fine.
I'm pretty sure this guy that we're thinking of is also in The Joker and plays Mr. Wayne.
Brett Cullen is who we're thinking of. Yes,
Yes.
not who I was thinking of. At
No.
all. Name was
Brett Cullen.
totally off.
And then I was thinking of Ron Cephas Jones, who's in Mr. Robot. Did you ever watch Mr. Robot?
Oh yeah,
Right? He's here. I'll just quickly load up a picture. This guy.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
he's phenomenal.
Yeah,
He's
the
really
whole-
good in Luke Cage too.
yes.
Yeah, he was really good in Luke
Did he win the Emmy for Mr. Robot or for Luke Cage?
It says he won one primetime Emmy.
Let's see what that is.
Yeah.
Please
it was
hold.
on This Is Us actually.
Oh,
Yes, yeah, for
Heartfelt.
outstanding guest actor in a drama series. This is following a true crime podcaster tries to solve the mystery surrounding a family patriarch's death. So it really, I was intrigued the entire time during this trailer. But the aspect of Aaron Paul being in it after seeing El Camino, Justin, was it more of that?
Well, exactly what Kevin said
Yeah.
when we were talking about El Camino is it looks like he's playing the same sort of
More
role.
of the
It's almost
same.
like I kind of get the impression it's like Jesse in prison, right?
Yeah.
Like Jesse Pinkman in prison. Like that's kind of
Don't
it.
spoil the end of El Camino, please. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting. Apple's really pushing hard to really get some eyes on their content
This
that they've
looks
invested
violent,
in.
though.
It doesn't look like it might be violent. It does look like it's a thriller
But there was
mystery.
blood.
Yeah,
I just thought that Apple TV Plus everything was going to be.
but it is supposed
Safe.
to be. Yeah, no, but I think that again, a trailer can be very misleading.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
You can see a lot more of the gore, and that might just be it.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean? Like
for the whole series.
for the
yeah.
whole series, right?
Yeah.
So I think at least it's kind of nice that they are really acquiring such talented,
Mhm.
actors and writers and directors to kind of lead this charge of their first stint at content.
Yeah.
But they are like, I find this trailer is definitely, like, I don't know how you guys might feel about it, but like it's really pushing hard to sell like what it is in terms of like a dramatic thriller.
I was okay with that because I wanted to. I mean, I want to see more of that world. I think the trailer did a good enough job that way.
It's funny. I didn't realize it was a show until the very end when I saw the Apple TV.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was going, man, they're fitting a lot of stuff into this movie. How long is this movie going to be?
Right.
So it does seem like something that, you know, if there's twists and turns, and if you, because it's not based on a true story, though I think they did a great job making it almost feel like it was based on this
Right.
real
It
life
could have been.
event.
Yeah.
But so not knowing what's going to happen will be kind of exciting to follow along. And if it is sort of a twisty turny, didn't he do it? You know, what is
Yeah.
the truth behind?
I like the modern aspect too of making it like she's a podcaster. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's also
Also, just the prevalence of,
'Cause normally
of
that would be like a
media
radio
in
host or something.
today's society,
Yeah.
sort of creeping in and creating
Well, crime-
impressions for people, be they true or false. It was sort of,
Well,
it does
it's
seem very relevant.
It's funny how crime thrillers really blew up through podcasts, right? So it's almost like
and Netflix series.
well, but yeah, Netflix series for sure. But it like with Serial. Like, did you guys ever listen to Serial? I didn't listen to
I've heard
all
of it.
but it is pretty intense, and it's like it draws you in, and that's why I kind of stopped. It was like almost too intense at times.
Yeah.
But then you get into like how Netflix jumped on and was like, well, why don't we just start making some shows? So like there is that sort of that niche right now
Mhm.
within that.
For all the fans, I think they call them murderinos. But I think, honestly, the more series that are HBO level quality showing up on Amazon, showing up on Apple TV Plus, showing up on Disney Plus, like I'm all for it. Like I just think, to me, HBO has hit it out of the park as far as quality is concerned for almost everything I've watched from them. So the more things we get in that vein, which this kind of looked like it, I'm totally down for. All right, so that's trailer time. I think it's about time now that we move into our topic of the show. And for this week, I thought we would check in with the listeners. We have a question from Marty Graham from Lisburn, Ireland. She asks, sorry, Marty. She asks, what has been your favorite movie theater going experience, taking into account the vibe of the theater and the experience beyond the movie you watched? So I think maybe if we talk about our favorite, and then I think it would also be kind of fun just to fill in a little extra time, maybe talk about maybe the worst movie-going experience you've ever had. So I, position it to you, Kevin, if you want to go first, as far as what was your favorite movie-going experience?
I definitely, have a plethora of moments, over the years that I remember just really enjoying myself or really enjoying the movie, or there's special experiences, seeing Phantom Menace, seeing my first new Star Wars movie in theaters. Those sorts of things are amazing, and I could talk about those forever. But certainly the most unique experience I've ever had, and sort of one of the coolest things I've experienced in a theater, was we were watching Kick-Ass, and I was downtown Toronto at the Scotiabank Theatre.
Nice.
And there's a scene in that movie where the two main characters are leaving a movie. And sure enough, the theater that they walk out of was the Scotiabank Theatre.
No.
So to be watching a movie, seeing those characters leaving a movie at the same theater, and for the people in the audience who sort of went, wait a minute, that's where we are right now. It was a very cool, like, elbow bumping moment. Like, that's so crazy to see, So for the movie to be filmed in Toronto and then to be in Toronto at the same theater, it was so cool. And like, when is that ever going to happen again? You know what I mean? So that's certainly the most unique experience I can think of in a theater.
I mean, I think anytime we get to see our lovely Toronto, in a movie, I think it's always kind of exciting to kind of, I know where that is, or I've seen that place, even if it is in Gotham or it's supposed to be New York.
Well, I mean, I lived downtown while they were filming Scott Pilgrim, and I walked every day to work past these sets. And it would be the middle of July, and they'd have fake snow everywhere. And it was just like, I cannot wait to see this thing on the big screen.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize a second of the city in that movie.
Yeah.
That was one of my most disappointing aspects of that movie.
They didn't play into it enough.
They didn't make the city of Toronto a character like I know it is in the comic and everything like that. And so for this movie to not actually be taking place in Toronto, but I can recognize landmarks in Kick-Ass throughout that movie where you're like, that's Toronto, that's Toronto, that's Toronto. And so the theater thing itself, the theater within a theater, that's trippy.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. I mean, as far as my favorite theater experience, a few years back, I had the opportunity to travel to Austin, Texas, and I was there for a work thing. And while I was there, I had my first ever Alamo Drafthouse experience. Have you guys ever heard of the Alamo Drafthouse?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. Have you been to the Alamo Drafthouse?
No.
Okay, so let me paint the picture for you. So you walk in, and it smells like church, and it smells like an old, everything's made of wood. Very sort of feels like you're in a movie theater in the 1970s, and the carpets are really old, and you can see dust on things. But they're playing, the most recent movies. But I think one of my favorite experiences there, not only the fact that you get to order food or drinks, they've kind of got these little tea lights there, and you kind of go in. And for any of our listeners who are listening from America, I mean, you guys are all thinking, yeah, whatever, it's a normal movie theater experience. But this is, in Canada, we don't have that sort of thing, or at least we didn't at the time. I know that VIP now
it's
with
slowly
cinema
coming into
starting to come into it, but the fact that I've got this little tea light here, the seats are set up so that when people come to deliver your order, they're not in your way. They're kind of the seats are elevated in a way that they can walk in front and then deliver your order, which is just super awesome. Anyways, the movie we saw was The Nice Guys with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling.
Nice.
Have you guys seen that movie?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So good.
Hilarious.
And so to kind of be in this movie theater where I'm experiencing, this 1970s movie in this sort of 1970s, it felt like I literally traveled in time and watched this movie from the, when it was released in the 1970s. So it was such a fantastic experience just to kind of take it all in and to kind of have that fun with it. And I think Alamo Drafthouse, from what I've read from what they've been doing and from what I also saw in terms of what other movies were available on the on that night, they had I think they were playing The Iron Giant in the theater next to us, so these kind of experience, I think they definitely go after that more sort of indie crowd. I know that they were showing recently, they were showing Joker in 70 millimeter, so that sort of thing is, I think it's cool when we're not just getting the same movie theater over and over and over again, which unfortunately I feel like Cineplex,
They're all cookie cutter.
yeah, they're a bit cookie cutter. They're
As
a bit the
somebody
same.
who's, for instance, just really quickly,
No, yeah.
I'm a big baseball fan, and I like to travel around, North America to all the different stadiums, because unlike hockey arenas that are all the same, that are all just the same shape building with the same concourse and the same, baseball stadiums are different and unique, and they all have their own personal touches. And movie theaters back in the day were all notorious for their own feel and aesthetic and that sort of thing. So to be able to experience that with the perfect movie to bring you back to that vibe and everything like that, it sounds like a wholly unique experience that you couldn't just get down the road at your local Cineplex or even a standard AMC.
Yeah, it was super cool. And it's just, again, the smell, the look, the feel was fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know if I have one experience that I could really say is outstanding. There's just so many. Kevin brought up Phantom Menace. I remember waiting in line for 13 hours to get those tickets just so that we could be there.
When you had to line up, you had to line up for tickets.
Right? Outside.
Yeah.
Outside with lawn chairs and stuff.
I was so young. I was like, we were in grade 8?
Yeah,
we were in grade 8,
Wow.
and I remember my dad was like, "Oh, are you sure you're gonna be able to do this?" I'm like, "Yeah." He got me the lawn chair.
Didn't
He
you
came
guys
back
order
with
pizza?
No, he came back with McDonald's for me.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And then the older guys that were there were like, "You gonna finish those fries?" I'm like, "No, it's fine." Right. So I ended up sharing my food, but just the whole nostalgia of going to experience a film in a theater.
Yeah.
You've described something that definitely harkens to the nostalgia of it, right? That experience, it's kind of built as a history, as a piece of
An
history
homage to film.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Toronto, we might have a couple, but it's Bloor Cinema still does 70 mil projections. But that's what I like about going to the theater. You're with an audience, you're focused on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like how it is now with Netflix and all these different things where you can kind of more and more people are doing multiple things while watching something on Netflix.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't really get your attention and focus like it does when you're sitting in a theater, and the lights darken, and the only light is the screen.
Now, kind of, you had mentioned, Justin, everyone in the theater sort of being there for the same reason. And I think when we go see a movie, like I remember when we all went to see Endgame, and the energy in that, opening night.
That helps carry that whole moment for you.
Incredible.
Like that was entirely what Star Wars was for us when we were younger. It was like that theater was packed. People were dressed up. It was
running
like,
around, smacking each other with lightsabers. And
Yeah.
they were into it.
It was the first time we've ever experienced something like that, right? Like we never seen that much hype around a movie, and like marketing it was at its all-time high. This was just before like internet trailers started booming. And I remember, I think there was an internet trailer that dropped for episode 1, and it was like a pain to try to find, and only Apple trailers had it.
Well, I think the original one only released before the highly successful Freddie Prinze Jr. movie based on the computer game, Fighter Pilot or Starfighter. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the first Phantom Menace trailer dropped before that movie, or whatever the movie is.
Yeah.
And people were going to the movie, watching the trailer, and leaving.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
You'd show up just to see the trailer and then go. So
That would be upsetting.
and I miss only getting to see trailers before a movie. It
Yes.
wasn't, now you
Online
see
everywhere.
them 2 weeks before these movies come out sometimes.
Yeah. Like before they're in the
And it was
they're in the
amazing to
theater.
see the what is this a trailer for?
Yeah.
Now and
Oh, I've seen this trailer already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like when you're sitting, I remember, I would say probably my worst movie theater experience ever. So I went to go see The Arrival. Now, that movie, a large portion of that movie sounds like this. So you could imagine with how quiet it is in that theater, in those really intimate moments where she's interacting with the aliens and those really like important moments, to have a bunch of teenagers over on the top left corner of the theater making way too much noise on their phones, not paying attention to the movie, not like, I don't know why they paid to be in that space for that amount of time to literally not do anything. It was so frustrating to be in that space and want to watch this phenomenal movie, or at least I think it was a great movie, and experience it for everything it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, I think there needs to be courses that people have to take and pass in theater etiquette. Because honestly, it's 2 hours. You sit down, you shut up, you watch the movie. You talk about it after.
Yeah.
Laughing, of course, is okay.
Sure.
If you're afraid, if you're tense, I want you into the movie and enjoying it. Do not lean over to the person next to you and talk about it.
Sure.
There's Starbucks down the road if you want to come out.
If they were
and
talking about
chat.
the movie, I would have been a little more okay with it, but they weren't.
They were just being complete,
Yeah, but
it's ridiculous.
that is the problem with theaters, right?
Yeah.
Is that you get people that are just, no, what movie's playing? Oh, we'll just go see this. Like,
Yeah.
But
I mean,
if you want
it
something
was
to
the
do to
last
hang
night-
out and talk, go to a Starbucks
Yeah.
and sit there and talk. Do not do it in the
That's-
middle of the theater.
that's
Because
why
to spend money on
that's
that.
why I always say, like, a first date, taking someone to see a movie, not really a good idea. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
because then
don't
how do you
talk.
get to know each other, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But like I think there's a lot of little elements of theater etiquette that people ignore. Like I don't like when people get the nachos, man, because you're hearing that tray rattling. It's completely quiet on this.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Man, I try and time my bites to when there's something loud going on. Even if that means I have a mouthful of popcorn for 3 minutes,
Right.
I'm waiting until
it's
it's quiet
mushy.
enough that I can sort of eat it. I remember this one time I was at a theater and the lady 3 seats over from me,
Yeah.
and this was not a full house, so she could have moved.
Yeah.
Is sitting in a chair doing this the whole time.
What?
For about the first 45 minutes.
Squeaky chair.
Squeaky chair, bouncing in
No.
it. And it was just, ma'am, could you move over one seat?
Please.
And she wouldn't. This is my seat, she
No.
said. No, okay, yes, in theory it's your seat, but there are open ones available. So that was one of the most annoyed I've ever been in a theater. If you're talking about worst experiences,
yeah.
I don't care if you have a nervous leg syndrome or something, but if you're
Right.
in a chair that's making noise and you have the ability to move over,
Right. Move over.
move over. Like I
Sure.
remember now now these theaters have the reclining leather seats, which are great.
Yeah.
If not a little dangerous because you might fall asleep because you're so comfortable. But and this poor guy in the quietest movie. Oh gosh, what was it? It was all about. It was the John Krasinski one.
Oh,
Quiet Place.
And
quiet.
a good 5 minutes into this movie, this guy's like, I want to recline. But his chair was a little broken. So for the next 15 minutes, it wasn't a very quiet place because it was
Oh no!
as he slowly, quietly
It
tried.
was like an electric one.
He was probably waiting for that moment where you'd get some noise or something.
Right.
You're not
gonna
getting it
happen.
in this
That
one,
whole
pal.
movie.
So that was quite
my
the struggle to
goodness.
watch him do that.
I think easily one of the worst experiences, and I think we actually all experienced it together, was when we went to see The Dark Knight Rises. It was a midnight show. It was the first IMAX show that was showing at midnight, and we knew it didn't have trailers, so we were there nice and early. We were ready to go, but when the movie rolls, there's no sound. And I've never seen an audience get so
upset.
angry,
There was anger.
turn towards the projector, flagging their hands, stop, rewind. And you can't rewind IMAX.
Like, just give us an hour and a half to reset the film reel here,
Exactly.
guys.
Like you just watched like purely like, 3 to 4 minutes. That's like, an extended period of time to re-spool that film so you can actually start it from the top. It was literally
Right.
it was funny. It was the worst thing, but like, we all got rewarded. They all gave us vouchers and stuff like that. Like, I
I think we had seen it already.
We had,
They
yeah,
released it as a preview before
before a
else.
Mission Impossible 4.
Yeah, but yeah, there was a lot of nerd rage that day. Let me tell
Yeah,
you.
but I think generally speaking, though, the movie-going experience, we've all kind of touched on it. It feels very cookie cutter. It feels very typical. You get your 15 minutes of meaningless like ads, car ads
That
or
look like movie trailers sometimes.
Yeah, no, absolutely, because they're shot because they know that's where they're going to be
Well,
going.
I miss the days when those were running on the screen before the trailer started, right? Remember when the lights
they
went
still
out, it
do.
started to go trailer time. That was it.
Right.
And the ads
It's
used to be
trailer time.
you
I
know.
remember they used to say that. Yeah.
But
Right.
they used to run those, and then they'd have a trivia question. This actor starred in this movie with it, and that's when you're coming in with your popcorn, you're sitting down, and your last chance to talk, and then you sit down, and then once those lights went down, it was time for trailers.
Yeah.
But now, movies don't start for 25 minutes after the posted time. 'Cause you got,
Absolutely. Yeah.
16 car commercials, and then your 5 trailers, and
Yeah, and that I think is it's part of the reason why these theaters are able to stay open and do what they do is because they lean so heavy into the advertising. Everything is right. Like you walk into a movie theater now, everything is just boldly product stamped. It plays devil's advocate with the whole situation. Netflix, while they're producing great content and they're giving you the ability to watch this stuff right at home, it does kind of take away from the experience. Like I kind of am with the Nolans who say his films are for theaters because he is designing his movies to be experienced in a theater, and that is what was the craft of a director, and a filmmaker is to make it so that it was an experience in the theater. I'm glad that we're moving in a new sort of direction. It's just I'm more selective about the content that I watch in theaters and the things that I would rather just watch, streamed.
it's very expensive to go to the movies now.
Absolutely, and that's the other thing. You have to.
Not
It's an
only is your
investment.
ticket $20 Canadian prices, but to get a combo. For a date night, you're looking at $75 to go to a movie, get 2 drinks and 2 popcorns or whatever it is. That's a lot of money if you're going once a week. Or again, my record for movies in a theater in 1 year is 64.
Wow.
So I'm going once a week.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday and
Cheap Tuesday.
and every other Friday, basically for a whole year.
Yeah.
I think I'm at about 6 movies in theaters on the year at this point.
Yeah.
It's just too much money.
Well, and I think it's interesting to see those subscription services in the United States starting and then failing and then
that I
not
don't
really
understand.
landing.
I would be jumping all over
How
that.
amazing would that be to have here?
Yeah,
right?
I don't understand
Cineplex,
why
make it happen.
Yeah, they should definitely be making that happen, and that's something that would be really good because I still think that there is an audience that wants to go see certain movies, and I think if they were to target their subscription in that capacity of where it's like these blockbusters or these movies that are coming out for the year, you can get to see this and earn points or whatever they want to do. Like it's just something else, right? Because like Kevin mentions the recliners, that's just another comfort level. I like the comfort, but like to your point, it can be, if you had a long day, now you're sitting in a movie, you recline and you're like, I'm kind of bored and I'm just going to fall asleep. And suddenly you're the guy snoring in a movie theater, right? Like it can definitely get to that. So it's like, it's just this very nice, like there's this balance of trying to find like, how does the experience get enhanced, but it's still focused on the movie and not just all the outside surroundings.
Well, and how much bigger do screens have to get, and how much clearer does the picture
Well, have you
have
seen
to
those
get,
new
and-
screens?
Yeah.
Have you seen those new screens where it's like a 180? It's like a pano, so it's like it's very narrow and it almost wraps you in the theater. So you're kind of like you're doing like a 180, looking at the whole movie. Like it's literally what's the one that's in the ride that's at Magic Kingdom? It's not even a ride. It's like a performance.
Mickey's Philharmonic.
Yes, Mickey's-
Philharmagic.
Yeah.
So if anyone's actually done that, you know that you have your screen in the center.
These
but
aren't in
then-
theaters, so I know they have them at like science centers and stuff, and they filmed specific content for
Right.
those screens.
but they are starting to branch into, like, they have done like experiments, if you will, or trials in the States with how they render them out so that it is more of this, wrapping experience. And I'm interested in how that can enhance a movie going experience. But I also think there's just too much, 3D it's not really
But again, if people don't go, they need to try and get them to go, right?
right. Yeah.
And when you can get unlimited content for $10 a month, or going to a movie is $20 for 2 hours.
Yeah, but imagine experiencing Avatar, again, a movie like Avatar or Avatar 2 or 4, 6, whatever he's doing, but it's like a 180 pano around you where you're kind of immersed in this world. And then they add this 4D element where smells and things spray you.
Sure,
and
I mean,
stuff.
you can get fun with it. I mean, but I saw the original Avatar in 3D IMAX. It's still the best 3D IMAX movie I've ever seen in
Right,
terms
yeah.
of the visual experience that it was. It was...
Yeah.
So I guess kind of to sort of round out
Yeah.
this conversation, I would just say maybe let's quickly just say, one thing you would add to the movie theater experience and one thing you'd take away. So like, for instance, for myself, I would consider the option of adding headphones. Adding headphones for everyone in the theater. If you want to have that crosstalk experience, they'll still play it through in real time as long as they can make these headphones, noise proof enough. And I don't know how, financially this would work for a movie
Well, I
theater,
mean,
but
what if you can bring your own in and
Okay,
sort
sure.
of connect through
like
Bluetooth? I
Bluetooth.
wonder if it's a safety concern that would prevent that from being something,
Mm,
because it's a great idea.
yeah. Because then if you don't want to have that crosstalk, I mean, it's pretty loud in a theater anyways that it may not be a safety concern, but I hear what you're saying there. But I just think that'd be kind of a neat thing.
So are you saying then while the audio is playing in the movie, you would also just get it through your headphones?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting. I
That
don't
way,
know.
that
I don't
way
know.
if you've got Squeaky Chair McGee over here.
Or Sally.
But
What do
why-
they call them before our movies? Susie
Susie Seat Kicker.
But why
or
not?
whatever.
Yeah.
Why not just have the whole movie just go through the headphones instead of having the outside audio that you're also competing with, whether you have your.
I guess
headphones
because
on?
there's going to be people that would be upset about that who like to say, "Oh, but I love talking to my whoever."
So they can
next
still
me."
talk to
you're,
it.
You're forcing people to bring equipment and stuff to a movie where
Right.
it should be an optional thing.
I think that'd be cool,
Yeah.
and especially from an accessibility standpoint, if
Yeah.
there are people that struggle with hearing properly, like that might be something to help. One thing I would definitely take away, I would have to say, I would take away the kind of to your point, Kevin, all of the videos beforehand and all of that advertisement. Move it to before the lights go down. Go back to that age of trailer times, trailers go. I think that's kind of the only thing I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, so I would get rid of commercials. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
paying money. I shouldn't have to be bombarded with advertisement when I'm paying for a product already.
Right.
That's my biggest thing against commercials anytime now.
Sure. Yeah.
I pay $5 a month for HBO, so I don't have commercials in my show. I'm
Mhm.
paying $17 to go see a movie. You don't have to advertise to me now. I'm sorry, I don't like it.
Right.
But you said that. And yeah, we got to figure out some way to make it more affordable for people.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't imagine a family of 4 trying to take their kids to a new movie nowadays with the prices on a 4D
It's
whatever
insane.
AVX. It'd be over $100 to take 4 people to a movie.
to go see a movie.
wonder you're-
once.
No wonder you're hurting in the box office department. So
I think that, I'll start with what I would take away. I definitely
Mhm.
think the pricing, and I think making it more affordable, more accessible, because when you look at the fact that Netflix has, or now Disney Plus coming and all of these other streaming services that are going to be, offering up their content, can't really compete with that, right? If you're
Yeah.
a family of 4, you can save money on going to the movie theaters. Maybe this is something to add, but, and they're already kind of doing it with certain sort of releases on Netflix, but giving you the option to see it at home or in theaters. But I wish they would do that with more of the mainstream stuff. You know what I mean? Like if you're someone who can't necessarily take your child or someone to a theater to watch Infinity War, right?
Yeah.
To have the ability to pay $60 so you can watch it at home. You know what I mean? Like it is a higher premium, but the idea that it's immediately accessible for streaming, you get to decide if you could actually
See, but
invest
then all
in
you
that.
people who pirate stuff and stream stuff without paying are the problem.
Yeah.
With that, 'cause,
No,
you
for
know,
sure.
stuff
Yeah,
happening.
yeah. It doesn't resolve that. I do think though, wholeheartedly, what I would love to add to the theater experience is people that look at like the art of being like a projectionist as a craft and like the experience of the film, because I just feel like there's people now, and the way it's all digital and everything, it's just like, plug
press
something
a
in
button.
digital, you press play. Like I like when the lights go down for the trailers. They don't do that anymore. They still leave the lights on because they still know people are going to be coming
people are
in.
coming in. It's a safety
Yeah,
concern.
it's a safety concern,
yeah.
and I understand that, but like it's, just the idea, if even things like framing it in the proper aspect ratio for the screen, or making sure that it's in focus, you know what I mean, or making sure that like there's no dirt on the lens, just those little fine minute details that really bring the idea of being a projectionist as a craft. I'd like to see that.
I think if I could add one thing that would be like impossible, but like would be amazing, is if they started adding like orchestras to theaters
That'd be really
to
cool.
play the score of
But
the
see, that's an
movie as you
experience,
watch it.
and that's something that
How
they did
cool would that
so
be?
long ago,
Well,
right?
Yeah.
I've seen, like, for instance, Star Wars at the Toronto Symphony Orchestra.
Really? But the movie playing, and then they did the
They
music?
did the whole score. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it was really cool. Yeah,
That's-
it
that
was
sounds
really
so
cool.
cool.
I mean, the problem is now you get dialogue issues
No,
if they're
yeah, of
playing or
course.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's a wicked experience.
Right.
But,
I think
certainly
that
a
at
pipe
that
dream,
point,
that one.
point though, like, it's about the music more so than it is about the movie,
Yes,
right? And
yeah.
experience the music.
Thank you so much, Marty Graham, for writing in for this week's topic of the show, for Mailbag. If you would like to write in as well, feel free to do so. Justin, where can they write in again?
They can send their questions to wearegeekcentric@gmail.com. That's wearegeekcentric@gmail.com.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me again. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And if you did, make sure to subscribe to us wherever you like to listen to podcasts. We are Geekcentric, and you can be too, which means you can also check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/geekcentric. Follow us on Twitter at GeekcentricYT, and also check us out on Instagram at WeAreGeekcentric. Justin, Kevin, thank you so much for joining me for today's episode.
Thank you.
it's been a pleasure.
And as we say, love ya.
Get home safe, guys.
Peace, y'all.